Here's the funny thing about this, for as silly as this is, and it is silly at its root, all things considered. This is something that is going to get fur flying. It's going to get battle lines redrawn and opinions recast, reiterated, stated once again, or perhaps it will shift some, but I doubt it. This is probably instead one where you're going to see one side versus the other, and it may get ugly. So, for as silly as this is, let's talk about it a little bit. This is based off of something that happened at Resurrection Fest in Spain, and it doesn't sound like Bring Me the Horizon or Bad Religion should be on this bill. It should be like a Christian rock bill. Jars of Clay should be here, and there should be somebody opening up singing Ave Maria. But that's not what happened. Bad Religion was there, and their guitarist Brian Baker slammed Bring Me the Horizon over the English band's display of arrogance during Resurrection Fest. You might wonder, what did they do? Well, I'm about to tell you. The two groups shared the stage on the opening day of the three-day event, where Baker took notice of a poster that he saw backstage. It featured a picture of Bring Me the Horizon, along with the message, "These people are not to be stopped, ever. They may not have a pass. They can escort who they want, where they want, with or without a pass." End quote. So the punk rocker, this being Brian, took a picture of the flyer and posted it to Instagram along with the caption, "I'm going to stop these people every time I see them today and tell them how much their band sucks." This guy and Bad Religion, they've been around since the 80s. This isn't some bloke who's 17 and thinks that Bring Me the Horizon is too big for their britches, even though they've released studio albums and stuff like that. This isn't some little, shit stain. This is a guy that's been in this business for a while. Bring Me the Horizon's drummer, who's Matt Nicholas, replied, "I can't imagine being as old as you are and still acting like a 14-year-old girl. Saw you at least 10 times and you didn't bat an eyelid. You got bigger things to worry about nowadays anyway, like your pension or cold weather, dickhead." And Bring Me the Horizon's frontman, Ollie Sykes, added, "Yeah, we are not your enemy. Winter is your enemy." Apparently winter is coming. Maybe they just finished a marathon of Game of Thrones. I don't know what's going on here. Baker then fired back with another Instagram post in which he took Bring Me the Horizon to task for their apparent sense of quote-unquote entitlement. He wrote, "It seems you've missed the point entirely. The issue here is entitlement. My post was a comment on your collective delusion that working local crew at a 30-band festival should be required to memorize your faces to spare you the indignity of breaking stride on the way to your backstage oasis, or even worse, the humiliation of carrying credentials. Your literal display of arrogance and the hilariously unrecognized irony within it was what I was sharing with my followers. I honestly don't know if your music is bad or good. It's not for old people. I meant that you suck as humans. Sorry for the confusion." Okay, let's get one thing out of the way. Brian, you should have said that in the first place. Because, yeah, it did kind of look like and sound like you were being a 14-year-old girl. Somebody who felt that this band was just waltzing around. This is the reason for two things. First of all, this is the reason why recently it was stated that there are a lot of folks out there like Phil Anselmo, and they hate rock stars. They hate rock stars. People that walk around like they are too big for their britches, like they own the places that they go, that they are the most important people on the planet, and that they don't really excise a little bit of common courtesy. They don't try to be good people. Now, that's not really in question here. I can't believe I'm sort of doing this, but Bring Me the Horizon is in the wrong here, but they're kind of not in the wrong. This is a weird situation where if Brian had such an issue with this, it really should be something that he should have, approached them and talked with them about, maybe face to face. One of the things that you need to do as an older veteran of rock and roll or of punk music or whatever is be a little bit more proactive. I don't exactly think the whole punk approach involves, Instagram. Not exactly sure that's what the Sex Pistols and all the other bands that have been, important to the foundation of punk and even within Bad Religion's own class are all of that concerned about Instagram. I don't think that was part of their core philosophy. Their mission statement didn't say, "Oh, we got to make sure we have an Instagram, and if we see bullshit, we're posting about it." Don't think that's what happened whenever they formed this group. But Bring Me the Horizon also needs to accept a little bit of reality. And the reality is very simple. if you think that you can go to a festival and act as though you're that big, act as though that every single person should first of all know who you are. Because guess what? If I were to walk around this festival, you could walk right past me, I wouldn't know who the fuck you were. I would just think you were somebody else at the festival. I would just think that you were some rando person. And so, if I was working security detail and you were going to a place where you weren't supposed to go, someplace that required a pass, guess what? I'd be stopping you. I would stop you, I would ask you for your credentials, and if you didn't have them, you'd have to provide with me proof of who you are. That way, you could get to the place that you want to go. Don't give a crap who you are. Don't give a crap what band you're in. If I liked Iron Maiden, but I didn't know what Bruce Dickinson looked like, and they pulled some shit like this, and I was a security guard, I'd do the same thing. I would honestly do the same thing. I would stop Bruce Dickinson and say, hey, let me see your pass. And if he said, I don't have one, I'll say, sir, I don't know who you are. You say you're somebody. You say you're Bruce Dickinson. Oh, I remember your picture from the album cover. I still don't believe you. This is a world already where security is airtight. And now this whole idea that faces should be memorized, that whatever, it kind of brings off a very bad vibe. It brings off a very bad vibe that security personnel should know all of these big people, even though they've probably worked detail for 1,001 shows that have featured 20,000 different artists throughout their careers. It's not exactly a hard or an easy thing to do, should I say. Not a hard thing to do. Yeah, I can't remember 10 people's faces, let alone 20,000. But either way, this is something where it could have been handled a little bit differently. It could have been handled with the aging veteran giving the younger band, the band that's kind of in the moment a little bit more. Bad Religion still has relevance, but not nearly as much as they once did. Giving the young guys advice, saying, hey, you can't expect this to be possible. You can't expect this personnel to have that kind of memory. They see so many people on a daily basis, let alone the concert goers. It's just not a possibility. It's not a realistic thing. And second of all, don't act like you're too big for your britches, sonny boy, because it could go away just as quickly as it came. Who's in the right? Who's in the wrong? Nobody. Nobody. Bring Me the Horizon should have their fucking credentials with them. That's just 101. Have a little bit of respect for the venue that you're playing at. Please. That's the type of shit that I look at and I would say, you know what? They think they're above the rules that we have set for this venue. They don't need to come back. Sorry, Spain. Sorry, collective universe of Spain. You'll have to go somewhere else to see Bring Me the Horizon. As for Bad Religion, I don't know what's up with all the winter jokes. I need to take a look at this guy. Does this guy look like a freaking albino? Well, he's pretty white. That sounds kind of racist, but winter is kind of coming. Either way, it's something that should have been handled a little bit more one-on-one as opposed to throughout the social media universe. That's what kind of makes people like me fume a little bit. Whenever somebody who tries to really, showcase a different philosophy uses the same philosophy that the young kids use or, the new generation uses and starts drama online. And it comes to places like this, and it comes to places like me. And that's whenever I have to put in my 2 cents. Sometimes I want a day on, Anyhow, what did you guys think about this? I linked the story for you guys in the comments below, or rather in the description box below. In the comments below, I want you guys to tell me your opinion. I'm CoverKillerNation. I'll talk to you later. Take care.